Ladies and gentlemen, this is everything you need to know about the Republican Party, the establishment Republican Party, and the Democratic Party. By the way, I'm a Trump supporter. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm voting for President Trump. Now, in 2024, I don't know who I'm going to vote for, but it's going to be the person who is anti-intervention. Foreign policy, in terms of foreign policy, I want somebody with the antithesis of Max Boot and Bill Kristol in terms of foreign policy. Anyway, CNN, Carly Fiorina's twisted logic explaining on why she wants Trump impeached and might vote for him in 2020. Yes! This is the best thing you've ever heard. This is one of the greatest things I've heard all year. Carly Fiorina's logic, twisting, explanation on why she wants Trump impeached and might vote for him in 2020. This is like almost the Jedi mind trick of establishment Republican behavior. They're like, oh, it's okay. Democrats, media, MSNBC, Robert De Niro. No, we're with you. Trump is really mean. He's a bad person. Trump, orange, bad. Orange, not good. When it comes to crunch time, we're voting Trump. And that's the duplicity, that's the disingenuous nature of establishment Republicans like Carly Fiorina. She knows he shouldn't be impeached. She's doing this for whatever, I don't want to say personal gain. She probably doesn't like Trump. She probably wants to knock him down in terms of his ego, in terms of, for whatever reason, she can't really align closely with President Trump. Carly Fiorina has never been a big fan of Donald Trump, which makes sense given their high-profile clashes when she opposed him for the 2016 presidential nomination, including a sexist attack Trump made about her appearance. Okay, and which makes the interview Fiorina gave to CNN's Poppy Harlow all the more mystifying. Start here. Fiorina told Harlow that it was, quote, vital that Trump be impeached. No, it's not. President Zelensky stated there was no leverage. Ambassador Marie Yovanovitch stated that she was given talking points about Hunter Biden during President Obama's administration. Furthermore, the same defense that Democrats give for Biden, he forced a prosecutor in the Ukraine to be fired. He forced the Ukraine to fire a prosecutor. The defense was, well, he did so because of the corruption, the rampant corruption. Well, that's exactly what President Trump was saying. Yeah, it wasn't because I was afraid of the No Malarkey bus tour. He's not afraid of Biden. It's going to be Clinton 2020. Just like I wrote, Clinton 2020 is a reality. Get ready for 8 years of Trump. That article is below in the pinned comment. But he stated, look, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars here. He's known to ensure that trade deals are renegotiated. He's known not to, he wants NATO members to pay more money. So he's known not just to give American taxpayer dollars just easily to other countries. So he stated, look, I'm going to withhold this money because of the corruption for a moment to make sure that everyone in the Ukrainian government gets it and not oligarchs or whatever, individuals within the, officials within the Ukraine. Okay, anyway, that's the same defense as Biden. Media believes Biden, they don't believe Trump. Why? Because they have to further the notion that the No Malarkey bus tour, the guy who defeated Cornflakes, is really Trump's political rival, and he wanted to go a year into the future and interfere and interfere in the election because that's what the Russians did, don't you know? Oh yeah, the Russians. Oh, with the Facebook ads that nobody saw, and with the DNC emails, they showed Bernie Sanders was cheated. But don't tell anyone who got $20 million in venture capital, because they won't really bring that up too much. Bernie Sanders was cheated by Deborah Wasserman Schultz. You say a derogatory word about Deborah Wasserman, we're fighting the 1%, but we're not fighting anyone who cheated us. I'll tell you that right now. Anyway, the whole thing is nonsense. But start here. Fiorina told Harlow that it was vital that Trump be impeached, although she stopped short of endorsing his removal by the Senate because we are so close to the 2020 election. Oh, okay. That's a defensible position that Trump behaved inappropriately. You bad Trump. You're a bad little Trump. Bad Trump. You behaved inappropriately. And needs to be penalized by the House for it. Notice, don't you love CNN? There's no actual criminal behavior, but he behaved inappropriately. So when President Obama presided over a failed NATO intervention that destroyed a country in Libya, and now there are auctions of human beings in Libya, okay, and the chaos and the mayhem and the bloodshed and everything that took place in that country since President Obama's failed NATO intervention, oh, well, he wasn't behaving inappropriately. He tried the best he could. When President Obama drank Flint water on a shameful publicity stunt when it was still poisonous, that wasn't on purpose. You know, he won the Nobel Peace Prize. But Trump, bad Trump, for signing the First Step Act and for bringing home Americans from never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts and presiding over record-low unemployment along every demographic group, record-low unemployment nationally, job numbers that are the best of this generation, according to Jim Cramer of CNBC, but he behaved inappropriately. Bad Trump. You're a bad Trump. You're a bad little orange monster. That's defensible position. That Trump behaved inappropriately and needs to be penalized by the House for it. Of course, there's no criminal act, but whatever. They're going to impeach him in like a day or so. And there's no criminal act, but he behaved inappropriately, But that the question of whether Trump should be removed from office is better left to voters next November. Oh, what a principled approach, Miss Fiorina. But what Fiorina told Harlow is where she loses me. Asked whether she would vote for Trump in 2020, Fiorina told Harlow, it depends who the Democrats put up. She knows it's going to be Clinton 2020. And she knows it ain't going to be Bernie, it ain't going to be Biden, it ain't going to be Warren. But so, Fiorina believes not only that Trump committed acts in office in which he should be impeached, but also that was vital to the country for the president to be impeached. But despite that fact, she is willing to rule out voting for Trump again, unless and until she knows the identity of the Democratic nominee. This is hilarious. This is the worst nightmare of Democrats, the worst nightmare of CNBC, MSNBC, Robert De Niro, the worst nightmare. Do you understand? Do you understand this is the worst thing that could ever happen to them? That Trump gets impeached, which he will, and nobody's going to give, nobody, even Carly Fiorina, who doesn't even like Trump. And Republicans are going to be like, the Republicans who are like, I don't like his personality, I'll tell you that. Here, shake my hand, Democrat. I don't like his personality. We can agree on that. What? You're not shaking my hand? Democrats are like, you must have the contempt that we have. If you don't have the contempt that we have against Trump, I don't want to be your friend anymore. Fiorina is doing exactly what a lot of Republicans are going to do, especially the ones that pretend, like Mitt Romney and others. They're going to be like, oh, Trump, he's just a mean person. But when it comes to actually voting for Trump, they're like, yeah, we're going to vote. We're not going to vote for Clinton. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? So Carly Fiorina, what? She, made her, hundreds of millions or billions or whatever, hundreds of millions in the tech industry. Tech industry is dominated by liberals, dominated by I'm with her Clinton supporters. Some of them say that, oh yeah, progressive. No. The biggest, look, there's a progressive pundit running for office. His corporation got $20 million in venture capital. What do you think? That's not keeping money out of politics. Whatever, that's a whole other story. The whole thing on the left is a scam. This is the moment in time in American history where Democrats are actually far more vicious, corrupt, duplicitous than Republicans. The kind of like the old establishment Republicans of the early 2000s and the 80s or the 90s, Democrats are now adopting their playbook. Everything is against the Constitution, but the hilarious thing is that Democrats want to literally do away with passages in the Constitution. Like literally, like the Electoral College, they want to abolish. They want to pack the courts. These are the norms and the traditions and the republic that, this is the Constitution. Okay? I pledge of allegiance to the United States of America. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah, I remember the Pledge of Allegiance. Look at that. Which is, well, something, because if you believe a president needs to be impeached for the good of the country, logic will seem to dictate that if and when you got a chance to remove him from office via the ballot box, you would do so. Yeah, CNN, but guess what? Nobody's going to do so. He's going to defeat Clinton again. Don't you understand? I love the Democrats who are like, oh, well, there are good Republicans there who will stand with us. Yeah, the second they get a Mitt Romney as candidate, a nominee Romney again, they're going to bring up the dog that was stuck on top of the roof rack, and this time it's going to be 2024. It ain't going to be 2012. The dog on the roof rack for 12 hours, Fido got like pneumonia from it, heaven forbid. But this time it's going to be crimes at The Hague. Send him to The Hague. Which, by the way, honestly, that's nuts. Why would you put a dog on top of your roof for 12 hours driving? That nobody should ever do that. That is animal cruelty. You should never do that. Guess who did that? Mitt Romney. The normal Republican. So when Clinton says, well, at least, she's running in 2020, if I haven't told you enough. Yeah. When Clinton says, well, if I lost to a normal Republican, yeah. The normal Republican puts the dog on top of the car rack and drives for what? To Canada during a 24-hour, well, I think this was like 15, 16 hours or 17 hours with one stop. Something nuts like that. Anyway, nobody does that. That's just horrendous. But Mitt Romney did that. So do you think they would take a moment and be like, well, at least he has nice coiffed hair and he's a good Republican and he opposed Trump. We owe him. No, they would go after him just as malicious, just in the same malicious and vindictive and sinister manner they went after Trump. People like Mitt Romney are fooling themselves. They think that if they don't side with Trump, they'll curry favor with the Democratic Party. Ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work that way. The Democrats went after John McCain in the nastiest, most immoral manner, and that is a fact. You can go to 2008 and find out the websites and the blogs that made a name for themselves trying to go after Mitt Romney, John McCain. They went after his military service. They were just completely unethical. But anyway, which is, well, something, because if you believe a president needs to be impeached for the good of the country, logic seems to dictate that if and when you get a chance to remove him from office, the ballot box, you would do so. No. What Fiorina is saying is that in this interview is so confusing because she argues that Trump needs to be impeached. This is hilarious. So they go into like a treatise here. This hilarious logical, she argues that Trump needs to be impeached for the good of the country. Then Fiorina chooses party over country when asked when she would vote for Trump, if she would vote for Trump again. Now she doesn't choose party over country. She chooses her value system over the value system of Democrats. Okay? Maybe she wants an anti-interventionist foreign policy. Maybe she wants a foreign policy that is not Max Boot and Bill Kristol and Hillary Clinton's foreign policy. That's the main reason I'm voting for Trump, in addition to a whole lot of things. Maybe she wants a president who goes after corrupt FBI officials, like giant imbeciles. Oh, I don't know. What's his name? Oh, yeah, Comey. Inspector Clouseau, who hides behind ignorance and then demands reverence when he's cornered. I mean, maybe she wants the First Step Act. Maybe she wants record low unemployment. I don't know. There's like 20, 30 reasons to vote for President Trump. So, I mean, the hilarious thing here is that, like, they're like a country. I love the Democrats. They talk like the old school Republicans. Oh, you're voting for your country. Oh, the country. No. The DNC hack, if it even happened, because the intelligence community isn't even certain, it ain't national security. No, not national security at all. Because if the RNC was hacked by another country, you better believe not one Democrat would care. Not one. You're talking about the most duplicitous political machine, which is what Democrats are. At the same time, however, these Republicans like what Trump has done in office: tax cuts, lots and lots of judges. And worry about what happened if a big government liberal like Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren or Vermont Senator. I love that, like, big government liberal. Meanwhile, Biden is hilarious. And they all know Clinton 2020 is a reality. So get ready for 8 years of Trump. That's what I wrote in the pinned comment. Sure, I get that. But you can't have it both ways. Either this president has abused his office for personal gain and needs to go, which he hasn't. Sorry, Biden's corruption is inherently a political gain. Sorry, try not to be corrupt. Try not to have conflicts of interest. Whether via removal after impeachment or at the ballot box in 2020. Or he hasn't done anything that merits that sort of punitive response. Yeah, obviously, you can't have it both ways. So this CNN article, obviously, Carly Fiorina doesn't believe that Trump should be impeached. Obviously, she's doing so because she wants to curry favor with Democrats or liberals or whatever, or she wants to present the image that she is, against Trump's behavior. Bad Trump. You go into the corner, President Trump. You've been bad. Or she's just pretending. She's just like a lot of Republicans are pretending. Democrats think they have allies in the Republican Party. They have none. No allies. Okay, Mitt Romney, none. They will always side with Trump. Why? Because he wasn't accused of it. He didn't do anything. Trump didn't withhold money from the Ukraine to investigate Biden to gain a leg up on the No Malarkey tour. He would decimate Biden. He begs and prays every day that it's Biden and nobody else. Bernie Sanders would do better than Biden. And Bernie Sanders would lose to Trump. This year he would. He would have won in 2016. I would have been right about that. But Democrats and pundits, they're like, oh, you know what? We're fighting against media corruption, man. Oh, yeah, Bernie was cheated. Who are you going to vote for? Well, Clinton. Vote for Clinton in swing states. Oh, yeah, we're going to vote for Clinton. But we're taking money out of politics. Except that venture capital dough. Yeah. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, look. The whole thing is a scam and a theatrical performance and a complete and utter farce on the left. They're not worried, ladies and gentlemen. They're not worried about their only goal is to win in the manner they want to win, which is Clinton. They're going with Clinton again. I am the only person on YouTube. I am the only person in media, and I am the only person in politics or media that has stated from 2017 until today that it's going to be Clinton 2020, and there's no deviation from that. Hillary Clinton is the only person who can give the Democratic Party a chance of winning. The only person who can give the Democratic Party a chance of actually winning the executive branch back, the Oval Office back, is Hillary Clinton. And I say this knowing very well that Comey covered up a litany of criminal acts that anyone would have been indicted aside from Madam Secretary. But again, we can go on forever. They cheated Bernie Sanders. They will continue to do so. Give me your thoughts below. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel right now. I'm voting Trump 2020. I urge everyone to do so. Give me your thoughts. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel right this second. Thank you.